Hi, baby. You are very, very cute. Mm-hmm. Yeah, you got a pee-pee diaper. I can smell you. Alrighty. Yes. Alright. I'm gonna change you up, my little baby. My little baby. Bond. Bond. When? Tonight. What do you mean?
They want to know where we want to have dinner tonight.
That's amazing. Tell them the Four Seasons. What do I want for dinner? I'm up for anything. What do you want? What would you like, Debbie?
I want ramen.
Great. How about Gonzo? Delivered? Does that sound good to you, or do you want something else? Great. Make it happen. That is so nice. I don't know. There's Ted.
Hey, Matt.
Hi, Ted. Hi. Good. I have you twice for some reason. Do you see yourself at the bottom there?
Yeah, I see a picture that's just an icon. Let's see.
Wow. That's cool. Well, that's fine. I've never seen that before. It's like you have a stand-in or something.
Right. Old me.
Looking good. I like the beard.
Thank you. It's very
TGIF.
Last night. Yes. Is it just the two of us right now?
Right now, it's just the two of us. So pretty cash. But I know you got some things that we can work on, so that's good. I'll see if anybody else, if somebody else might chime in. Robin said he maybe was going to try to stop by. Last night we had a few teachers.
Oh, cool.
Robin and I and stuff. So it's good. We'll definitely do this regularly. Like I said to these guys last night, and my intention is sort of it'd be the more that other teachers can kind of interact or see each other or share sort of their experience of it, I think that'll help for everybody. And this is certainly one way,
it makes
for that to happen.
The thing work a little nicely too, because if I see a comment from somebody, having a face to put with that name, because the kids get off on that, actually, knowing that there are other people out there paying attention.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely, that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But anyway, so if somebody comes, that's fine. If not, no worries.
Okay.
We can. So right off the bat, I just wanted to say to you, there's as far as music work too, and I know there's some questions there, and I still have to add a few steps that I realized I thought were in there, but I see now that they're not.
It seemed truncated.
Well, I think what I did at the time was it was getting long. Like they're more sort of like backgroundy kind of lessons
Yeah.
And I think at the time I was like, oh no, I don't want to make it too long. And I would communicate like to the teacher that, oh, you should make sure you develop the melody, do the form, blah, 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 blah. But you'll need to have those steps in there. So I'm going to put them in because that's exactly what I do with my piece with my kids. Like when Mabel did her piece for orchestra last spring, this is the exact same thing we used. And I had steps in there. Now you're going to develop your melody once you have it with the chord progression, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. So I'll get that in there soon. My plan is to try to do that on the weekend.
We're not going to be there, and I think I can do it without it. I think I can teach that because I know it, and I think
sure, I know what you mean. Yeah.
So like
I do want to. I have to get it in there anyway, but so because I know there's another teacher that's going to use it, and I'm going to use it too. So I want to get it in there, but I will. And then sort of related to that, you know, I know I'd asked you about a QWERTY, and I've been using it too, and it has been funky. You know, it's definitely still sort of in the early days, but they just pushed out a much more stable version. So the developers, they're from NYU. This organization we work really closely with, called the NYU Muse Ed Lab. Right. They sort of do design. Anyway, so I'm always talking to them about the technology that we're using, et cetera, and they're giving me the most up-to-date versions to try and stuff like that. So they're getting a lot of feedback from me and other places as well. And they're aware of all these issues, so like things not being formatted correctly. So what I did was in the lessons, it should have linked right to like this very user-friendly, in the key of C, everything major version, but it was opening like some weird thing and like pentatonic minor and stuff. In like E major, like it was happening for my kids too. So I was gonna go back and redo the links because I thought at least maybe that would help. But I was waiting for them to push out this version, which they did this morning, and it's good. I've tested it a bunch.
We took the bull by the horn with that, and I just put I go to their homepage and or the first page you get when you search it. And I just put the link up in the assignment. I say if you're having any problem, refresh. Go here, and today. Like 4 people. I was working with some small groups today of kids who were lagging behind, and you having it like in 2 separate windows, you know, and then being able to see it on one hand, and then just, you know, these kids are savvy enough, they know if you highlight the measure and type the letter name, and often then with open position chords, you know, you can explain that, and so I feel like it's a super valuable tool.
It really is. I was going to show you something that I do. Let me just open it. So it is a great tool. And then other things that I'm sure you're aware of, but I think are worth mentioning, like the whole idea of holding down Shift in Note Flight and pressing the 3 letters of the chord to build the chord. My students often forget that. I have to remind them. So that's cool. So if you hold down Shift and press on your keyboard, C, E, G, it builds it vertically. The problem with that is, you know, it's in one staff. Right. So if you're trying to arrange it. But that can be helpful too, so they can see it on the staff. But I was going to say, let me show you. Let me open this. Okay. So, okay. Sometimes when you load a QWERTY, and this bug is not fixed, it looks miniature. They call it the Beetlejuice bug. I don't know if you've noticed that, where the keys show up really small. Okay. So, one second. Share my screen here. Okay. So, can you see this?
Yes.
Okay. Can you hear it? Okay.
I can't hear it.
You cannot hear it.
No.
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 Bummer.
I know what a C major chord sounds like.
Hold on one second. One thing. I don't know how to. Anyway, I could probably get it to have the sound, but it wouldn't have. All right, let me do this. I'm going to go off microphone for 1 second.
Okay.
Oops.
I can still hear you.
Okay, you can hear me, yes?
Yeah.
Loud. And now can you kind of hear this?
Yes.
You know, a little bit.
Yep.
I was going to say was what I literally did with my students, and just to point out, what I try to do with my kids is show them eventually, once they get the chords in, you know, hopefully you can have them play the chord first, which is sort of the idea. So if they can't play the piano,
right.
Let me show you this. If they can't play the piano, you know, they're doing it here. So I would have them, you know, play the chord, and then once they are doing this, to feel like they can use this to get the letters, but also so they can kind of come up with something they like. You know, they can hear the chords, whatever, and then write a note like, okay, I'm gonna start arranging. Put the C in one instrument, the E, G, whatever.
Yes.
And going back and forth.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
Now here's the goal. Here's the goal, just to share with you. And I don't have a lot of data on this because I'm just trying to do it with my kids.
Right.
Is that I'm getting to play the chord with one hand, so I'm using my left hand,
Yes.
and then to start by playing like a melody that uses just chord keys, right?
Because I've done these lessons already.
Cool. Okay, good.
Personally.
And then, you know,
Yeah.
take it a step further and try to have passing tones.
Oh yeah. Oh Matt, this is you're giving them everything.
Yes, passing tones. What do you mean? Trying to give them everything.
I mean, like,
yeah.
You're teaching them how to do jazz improv or all kinds of. You're teaching composition. Like I saw it instantly, and I was telling one of the other teachers, I'm like, this is powerful stuff. If they actually internalize this, they would be able to like improvise in a jazz situation.
In band class, I reference this stuff that we did.
Yeah.
So like it's like when we made our melody that used mostly chord tones. Well, when we're improvising, we have to know what the piano player is playing and like, are we going to play mostly chord tones and how we're going to resolve the non-chord tones and stuff like that. So yes, that's why I'm so excited about a queer team, because it bridges that a little bit more because they're experiencing it, you know, they're playing it.
Without
anyway,
the area of technique.
Right. Exactly. And to think that maybe, you know, that they could do it at home and practice it. Like I haven't had a lot of kids do that yet.
We did that a little bit in class with a keyboard too. Like we did it because sometimes when the Wi-Fi's down or when a quartillon's acting funny, I'm like, okay, never mind. Yeah. So I bring up I'm like, you can see skips easily on the white keys, and so I'll hold a chord or let other people play, and it's like same thing, you know.
Yes.
But yeah,
exactly correct.
Like the passing tones, the upper neighbors, all that stuff. And so what I thought, and this is what I would have told anybody else that was here, is I'm taking a lot of extra time at this beginning phase, and I'm not
good. That's what
until everybody's got it, because we're not doing 2 in a year. Right. That's it for you know, if you're doing music too. And so what my goal is by Christmas for everybody to be able to sit there in their sleep and go C E G D F A E G D, that, like that they just know that. So hopefully,
that's exactly
boom whacker.
That's exactly what I'm saying. Right, the boom whackers. You get the boom whackers out for that.
You can kind of hear it. And we had different people writing different progressions up, and then you had to know which group you were in. And well, that's great. That's cool. So that's what I want. And then same thing as you. Like these are 6th and 7th graders. So some 6th graders are in my starter band, but that's the goal. Then if you know your chord tones,
yes,
you're a lot better off as a 6th grader than I was as a 20-year-old.
And totally. Oh my God, yes. And it leads the hearing of it. You know, they can start with if they know a chord tone and play it. They can hear that it fits the chord, hopefully, and that'll be the ear training piece, you know. So that's great that you're going slow. I think that's really important. This is the most important thing, and it will go faster later on. You know, once they sort of get their ideas, the melody and the chords. That's the hard part. Then the orchestration part is kind of a little more fun. They get to be, you know, sort of making creative choices about what instruments are going to play what, etc. And a big thing, and it's in the lessons too, but I found it to be really helpful, is the coloring of the chord tones and the non-chord tones. When they
I saw that. I went through it,
You know, it really does make them make the connections a little bit better. And sometimes I have to do the coloring so they see it, and that's okay. And then one of the things that is challenging, and I know one of your students did this, and my students do this all the time, is when I have them put in the chord progression, the sort of more advanced kids, even though I'm saying very clearly, just make a chord progression, like simple half note, whole notes, whatever. They make a melody out of it.
Gosh,
and that's
now.
Yeah, exactly, totally. And so in one sense, that's great. I'm like, okay, like you're ahead of the game in a way. You're seeing how to make melodies. And I don't want them to change that. I'm like, I'm okay with that. It just becomes a little tricky later on when you have both kinds of kids. Like you have the kid with just chords and you want to have them sort of add an instrument to make the melody. And then what is that kid going to do when you say to him, okay, add a fourth instrument and have a melody?
Right.
So you have choices. You know, you could say like, okay, well, maybe this is really a background part that you made with this kind of thing that sounds like a melody. Mm-hmm. Or maybe you're going to add passing tones to the melody or something like that. So you're going to come across that because that
well, I know of yours had done. And what you're talking about, and they were so proud of it, and I'm so happy for the beginners in the room that I'm like, just whole notes, please, because it's going to be great. Mm-hmm. So what I was thinking about for like those three guys that did such incredible, like they were already orchestrating out their melody. Mm-hmm. Then I was thinking, okay, you've got two choices. You can increase the duration on everything, or slow the tempo way down and write a melody in 16 notes.
Oh, that's a great idea.
And that's
a great idea.
That was my thing to tell them, was like, okay, great, make this 60 beats per minute and give us 16 notes.
Sure. Oh, I hadn't thought of that, Ted. That's a really good idea.
Maybe
wow, totally, absolutely. Yeah, perfect. Anything to keep them moving.
Yeah, those guys are amazing. Yash and Filippo, I'm going to meet with them separately, and because they're guitar players, and have them down before school one day a week and let them write. I offered it as like, we could play classic rock fine, but what I'd really like to do is have you write parts for us to play together in note flight, and we'll play them. We'll play your music. So hopefully,
great. It'll be fun.
Kill me, but they need it.
That'd be really cool.
They're ready to do it.
Yeah, some kids want to go that fast. The other things with MusicWorks too, it is so for some kids to sort of like orchestrate. The orchestration can be kind of hard for some kids. I've found other kids love it. Copying, pasting is a great tool when they get to that. So I might tell them like kind of with their first piece, once they have a part in one instrument, use the same rhythm with a different chord tone. These kinds of tricks will get kids to fill up the orchestration faster. I don't think there's anything in there I don't think I included inversions in the lesson in the MusicWorks. I can't remember. But I have done inversions.
That you can.
I have done
the chord tones.
Yeah.
But not having it on the bass. But I've been doing that with kids. Like even one kid on the very first exercise today, we were working on it, and she had a mischievous grin, but it was on the G chord, and she put the B in the bass. She changed it and put the G somewhere else.
Yeah.
As long as you have all three of them in that chord on this,
exactly.
I want to give you it. So, I think they'll find it.
Yeah. And it really doesn't matter. I mean, it really doesn't matter. I don't make a big deal of that. I just, in the first part in MusicWorks 1, especially, or when we're trying to figure out the name of the chord, we do a lot of this, and it's in the lessons about like if we want to find the name of the chord, they have to be in order by skip from low to high. So that's why it's important to know what would be on the bottom, so you know the name of the chord. But then when it's all in there, the inversions by mistake sound cool, and that's fine. Yeah. How are the first kids going? They seem to be doing great. Like the work that I've looked at looks really good.
Oh, good. I'm really happy with the 8th graders, but they did it last year, MusicWorks 1. And I'm hearing really, and I'm not letting anybody who's not like on the first exercise, if you don't write with all skips, forget it. You're not getting through it with all steps. Yeah. You're not getting through this time.
Right. Right.
Once in a while.
I was gonna say I've come around to being that way too more and more. It's like at first I was just like so excited. They're like doing something. I'm like, okay, this is fine. But then you realize like it does make it harder for them later, if they don't understand that thing. So I totally hear where you're coming from.
And so with them, same thing. It's like I see the beauty of doing MusicWorks 1 and MusicWorks 2 right away in the same year, because like last year, the same kids that are struggling now with MusicWorks 2, they would have had it. They understood skips, and they were used to working with full staffs. And now they're just like, they've got amnesia, summer amnesia.
Yeah. Oh my God, tell me about it. I know. But you're absolutely right. I did think of it that way. I was like, okay, if we're gonna do the next piece, what can I how can I explain harmony based on how we made the melodies? Like that is how I thought of it. And that's, it's not an original thing. It makes it easier for them if they just did make their piece thinking melody.
Well,
cool, but no, man, I'm excited. I think it's great that you're doing all this. And I talked to, Robin is going to start. What I told Robin was, and there are a couple other composer mentors too, so we have a couple more. As the kids get more into like the regular piece, to have them chime in also with comments. I figure that's never a bad thing. Even if it's just to serve like the motivation of it, So once they kind of get into their piece for a while, you'll start seeing some of the composer mentors leave some comments, which will be helpful, I think.
Yeah.
But that's it. I think then the other thing is just, keep me up to date on when you want to have the musicians come for the first visit and all that kind of stuff. It's totally up to you as you, I'll see too, because I'm obviously looking at their work. So like I tell other teachers and like we talked about last year, it's a balance between trying to find the right time for them to come so that it motivates them to finish and kind of like be like, oh, we really are writing this for real musicians, and to balance like having enough music done so that they can learn from what they're hearing.
Well,
so my feeling is like, especially with our kids, Little Red's like, once there's a sort of majority of kids that are far enough, or even if some years it hasn't been, just because of the calendar, right. As long as there's some music that we can listen to from the kids that will demonstrate enough for everybody to hear, I feel like that's valuable, So I've had years where we've only gotten through three instruments orchestrated, written for, and that's it. And then the musicians come, and then we talk about like, okay, well, how can we make it be 6? And we'll do some things or doublings and things like that, so they can just kind of hear all the 6 instruments. And
last year,
I don't remember last year. How far along were they?
When we had some kids, the majority of kids, I believe, had developed their melody and had a beat.
Okay.
And we're going to be, and that was a great time because it really helped us get into, like with MusicWorks 1, to get into the conversation about choosing your instruments and adding instruments. So it was really helpful at that point. And we are going to be starting Develop Your Melody when we come back from Christmas. And that's
great.
Catholic school, it's not winter break. And so that's sure. Like I've told them, and we're already into home note now. So great. We will definitely be developing. So like February should be perfect.
Yeah, that's great.
And I wouldn't be at all surprised if we're in that territory for MusicWorks 2, like not too far in front after that. Because I think once we get into that whole like, okay, now you've got this chunk, now let's take it and copy it and contrast with it and then copy it again. I think once they hit that, it's going to snowball for them and they're going to go fast.
Well, it does. I find that same effect. It picks up from there. Anything else? What else is there? Anything technical things? Do you want to go over anything with the LMS? Like, I'm happy to show you any stuff. Last night, some teachers wanted to see like how I do the grading in the grade book and stuff like that.
Sure, I don't
that would be useful.
I don't know. What I do is I just go to view grades, and then I see the people, and then it's like I can see it in the speed grader from there, or I can see if my comment is there, but I keep notes in a separate place, and I just zip through the speed grader.
Yeah. Okay. So you're finding that working. Great. That's it. The one thing I did for some teachers, and I can look at yours, I don't remember. It's a small thing, but some teachers were looking at the grade book more, and the assignments were out of order from the modules. And I fixed it for them, and I showed them how to do it. You can, in the grade book, drag the assignments left or right.
All right.
If you ever want to rearrange them, it's literally that simple. You just drag them.
Okay.
So that could be helpful if you want to like look at the grade book.
So far, and view grades, is that what you're talking about? In view grades, is that the grade book?
In view grades.
Yeah, I haven't noticed that anything was out of order for me. But
okay,
I
good.
Looked past the first, several exercises.
Yeah. Right.
But now I know.
Cool. Yeah.
Yeah, no, and the kids love the look and feel of the new LMS.
Great.
And they know the difference, and that's really cool. They're really to it.
Yeah. Awesome. That's the most important thing. If they're seeing, if it's working for them, if they're able to see where the comments are. I did a post. I think you saw it where how I do it with my kids. Like I tell them to go to the grades, read the comment. They can click the assignment from there and see the music and my comment.
Yes, that's what.
And they can even work on their score there, but there's not a turn-in button from there. They're like in the grade, they're like in the assignment.
When I show them at our school, when they look in their own grades and they go there where they looks like the speed grader, they can't edit there. They have to go back to the module and do it.
You know why? Yes. You know why? Here's the thing. And you could show the kids this, even if, and it won't log them into NoteFlight until they've opened one of the NoteFlight assignments from the module.
Oh, so if they're
if they're already in NoteFlight and then they went to look at their grades, they could edit. They're not logged in, so it doesn't give them editing access. So I can add for you. I might have done it. I'm going to check right now. I added a link to everybody's homepage, and I'm going to look at yours right now to see if it's there.
The link for NoteFlight?
That just logs them right into NoteFlight. I'll show you.
I've been looking for something like that.
All right, I will do that. Let me show you where it will be. So, for example.
Oh, yeah, I was just calling it up.
I'll show you here. Okay, so. Do it for them. Okay. Here we go. It's super easy. It'll take me 2 seconds.
Is it on the dashboard?
I'll show you where it'll be. It'll be like if you go. No, if you click on the home page, you have the menu down there. This menu.
Oh yes.
You see that? Okay.
Yep.
So this is another school. This is another school. I think yours might say like.
NoteFlight. I see it.
I don't remember.
That would usually be where modules is or something like that.
Modules, right, which is redundant, right, because modules over here. So what I did for teachers is I made this a NoteFlight, a link to NoteFlight. You open it, and then there's one more button to click. This is going to take you to your I think I have it set just right to your NoteFlight home. It might be a score on this one.
Oh man,
I figured out how to do
this. I've been telling them this heroic way to get to NoteFlight.
Okay, and it'll look like this. It won't go to that score. I figured out a way to do it. So it'll just show their NoteFlight home, so they're logged in, NoteFlight and stuff like that. And if they wanted to just use NoteFlight, they could. But if they did that and then they went to their grades, they'll be logged in.
Oh,
and they could.
Set us up for that.
Say that again?
Please do set us up for that. We're not set up for that.
Yeah.
It just says modules for us in that spot.
Yeah. Okay, I will add that.
That would be, the kids would be, because I've got a couple of kids who've been wanting to compose, and I have them go into an assignment.
One of their assignments, right, and click on home and stuff. Yeah, so this will be easier.
Yeah, they'll be psyched. And then I can use it more.
Great, okay.
Projects.
Exactly, yeah, you'll have the same thing. It'll take you right to your NoteFlight home. All right, I'm going to do that. When we're done, I'll do it for you.
Awesome. We're doing the epic rap battles again with 7.
Cool.
And this is how they've written most of their rap, but they haven't started making their track yet. And then I'm going to have them write a chord progression based on what we're doing as the beginning of Music Works 2, and they have to include it somewhere in their rap. So I'm excited about that. They can either take a MIDI file, import it into GarageBand. I'd love to use Soundtrap, but we just don't have the money.
Yeah, I mean, Soundtrap is awesome. You could contact them, and they might give you at least a trial for free.
For 14
they're
days.
really. Say that again.
They do have a 14-day trial.
They do. You might. They're super nice guys. I got to meet them this summer, and they are definitely all about the education part of it. So you could, we never know. Asking sometimes doesn't hurt.
All right.
Just be like. Even the budget, can we blah 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 blah.
Yeah, a month or two.
Cool.
Yumi.
Yeah, absolutely.
I played around with it. I thought it was better than GarageBand.
It really is. In many ways, it is. It's more user friendly, and it's perfect for school. I mean, just like in the same way that NoteFlight, can be shareable and work for everybody and all that stuff. So, no, they're going to do very well. They're going to do very, very well. Pretty cool. I should probably wrap as it's almost time for the baby to be baby daddy time.
Oh, nice. How's that going? Everything good?
Great. Everything's awesome. Baby's wonderful. A little tired, not a lot of sleeping happening. But really, it's the best, man. It's been so great. Like, it's awesome.
Those are some of my favorite memories. It's an easy time.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Anything.
Yeah, exactly. It's like everything's just okay, no matter what.
All right, you'll do it your way. You're a baby.
Right. You're pooping and peeing on me. It's great. I love you. This is wonderful. It's awesome.
Good.
Good time. Yeah. All right, man. Well, keep me posted on things that come up. Look for that Note Flight link. And then look for the changes. Look for the changes to
other modules, any of that. This would make us so happy.
Okay.
Okay?
Yeah, look for that. It's easy. No problem. You're welcome, Ted. Have a great weekend.
You too. Bye.
Take care, man. Bye-bye.